Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thanks for joining me. I hope everyone had a great 2 weeks. I missed you all live last week, and I apologize for last week's predictions getting cut short since I didn't time things out properly. Time flies when I'm into energy, and I completely lose track of anything except the present moment. So I didn't get to complete them, but hopefully you guys got the stuff that you needed to hear and you had a fantastic 2 weeks. I am back from mini vacation and my sister's wedding. It was a great time in Colorado. It was a beautiful wedding, a winter wedding. It snowed every day. It was amazing, and we had a really, really great time. So now back to reality. Let's see. Oh, by the way, we are officially in Mercury retrograde as of today, and Mercury is in the sign of Aries, so it's going to be an interesting few weeks for everyone. All right, let's get into tonight's predictions for this week, which run from tonight through to next Thursday, March 29th. These are general predictions for everyone in areas of work, love, finances, health, and spirituality. So the general themes for this week, one of them is all about nourishing yourself and others. Basically, everyone needs to take a look at how they're taking care of themselves and how they're taking care of others. Most of you are too busy worrying about and stressing about and trying to help everybody else solve their problems and taking care of everyone else, and you're neglecting yourselves. Then there's those of you who spend lots of time taking care and nourishing yourself, but completely forget to show up in other people's lives or family, or you're not present with others. So you're just always focused on nourishing yourself. And everything in life is about balance and neutrality. So one extreme or the other keeps you out of harmony. Those of you who have been leaning towards the selfish side of nourishment, I feel like you'll be humbled this week. And those of you who have been neglecting yourselves, I feel like you're going to be feeling exhausted. Things will feel chaotic and feel a bit messy. But I do feel like all of you will get to see where you are out of balance and get the opportunity to get in the flow again. So just be easy with yourselves. Don't beat yourselves up about any which way you're leaning. Things tend to ebb and flow. We go from one extreme to the other, and we need to do that so that we can find our way back to the middle. So again, just be easy with yourselves. This week, I do feel like there will also be those of you who will decide to sit quietly and connect to God or higher power, universe, or whatever it is you call this energy of creation. I feel like some of you will decide to ask questions and you will receive answers. All answers reside within. I do feel like all you have to do is connect, ask, and then wait for the answer. And sometimes the answer doesn't show up right away, or it doesn't show up in the way that we expect. But for some reason this week, I just feel like those of you that are sitting and contemplating and quietly trying to connect and consciously trying to connect, I just feel like you're going to get answers. I just feel like it will show up. Now, for some of you, I feel like it will show up in a few days. And for some of you, it may not show up at all. And I shouldn't even say may not. I feel confident that it won't show up for you at all this week. And those of you who do not receive an answer, don't give up. Talk to God. He will respond when you're ready. And sometimes it just takes a little practice, you just need to keep consistent. How badly do you want it? And if you want it bad enough, you'll receive it. I do feel like there will be those of you that start awakening more to your own gifts and abilities. So don't be afraid, and make sure you're only communicating with the highest vibration of love. Also this week, judgment is going to be all around. Are you judging someone or something? Are you judging yourself? Are you being judged by others? More than likely, it's a combination of both for most people. Those of you who experience judgment this week and are triggered by it, take a good look at yourself. Typically, if you're being judged by others, it's because you judge others and or yourself. Remember, everything in your life is showing you everything you need to know about yourself and what's happening inside of you. If you don't like being judged by others, then just stop judging, period. Whether you're judging yourself, whether you're judging the weather, whether you're judging others, just stop judging, period. And if you are being judged, don't take it personally. Judgment is a perception projected outwardly due to insecurities with the self. So know when someone's judging you, it's because they're judging themselves. So try not to take things personally, and just, the better that you can do that, the quicker judgment just fades into the background. It's also another week of taking responsibility for self, others, and the planet as a whole. Are you living in harmony with all? This week, more things will be changing and shifting in your lives. Your life may seem like it's completely crashing and burning to the ground. For some of you, it's in varying degrees. I just want you to know it's not a punishment. It's a tool to get you to let go of the things you no longer need in your life. It's a tool to help you wake up to the truth of who you really are. And I don't mean your physical body. I don't mean this physical reality. It's a tool to give you the opportunity to take responsibility for your life and turn it into what you want. You're more powerful than what you think. You have more control over your life and the choices and the things that you do than you honestly think, feel, or believe. Now, the dark is there to help lead you to the light. And the light is your true birthright. And once you fully stepped into it, the dark can no longer exist. So just try to keep that in mind when things feel like they're crumbling, and just look at solutions. Let's see. Expect this week to also be one where things can easily distract you and or frustrate you. Most of you who will experience frustration this week, I feel like it's going to be because you're irritated with yourself about something. And you could also find yourself spending a lot of time in your head and or heart this week too. Again, just kind of overthinking. Everything will be connected to you and how you react and respond and interact in the things in your life. So I just feel like a lot of the frustration that you may experience is really directed to yourself. Some of you will be aware of that, some of you won't. And again, remember, you'll be easily distracted with matters happening in your lives this week. So it may be a little difficult to focus, but just try to do your best. This week is also about realizing how you reject help, how you reject new information, how you reject new people, new places, new ideas, and how you think you can do everything on your own. So many of you will realize how your stubbornness and pride is getting in the way of your own happiness. And, it's going to show up different for everybody, but it will show up for everybody in one way or another and in varying degrees of difficulties. And, with the pride and like the stubbornness, I feel like you're also going to see how those things cause you to reject people and many, many other things in your life that you're just not open to because of being stubborn or being too prideful or being afraid of new information or worrying about hurting somebody else. Like, again, just tune into yourself. I just feel like it could be an eye-opening week for many of you. Work, for those of you employed, it's going to be a bit of a blah week. And I feel like some of you are probably already feeling that today, maybe even started this week, but it just kind of feels like it's going to be a blah week. I feel like most of you just won't be in the mood for work. Figure out a way to get through the week without causing yourself too much trouble or anybody else trouble, and fly under the radar at work so you're not getting in trouble with the boss. And then there's going to be those of you who are feeling more upbeat and you'll actually be in the mood to be helpful. You do run a slight risk of hoarding all the work for yourself. Don't do that, because I feel like if you do, you're going to end up feeling like everybody else this week and be in a blah mood. And again, who wants to hoard work? I get it. Sometimes, we get Uber go-getter, but just keep it balanced. Work, for those of you that are looking for a job, I am just not feeling like much of anything will be happening. I feel like most of you are going to be in a bit of a funk, and you just won't feel like putting in much effort to like job searching. I'm not really feeling too many callbacks for this week in interviews. I just kind of feel like everybody's going to be in like this kind of a, I don't know, stalemate, or just kind of like, again, just this, you're not happy, you're not sad, you're not high energy, you're not low energy, you're just kind of like, ugh. So I just feel like there's not going to be much happening in that work area of life. Love, committed relationships. I do feel like it could be a rough week for some of you. And again, it's all going to be dependent on, the level of healthiness in your relationships. For most, I feel like compromise is going to be needed this week. I feel like your opposites, or like pet peeves, or the things that you found endearing about your partner, I just feel like those things may flare up to irritate you, and vice versa. You might, your cutesy little thing that your partner loved before this week could irritate the living crap out of them. And so just, pay attention to that. And if you're feeling a little bit irritated, try to, keep things peaceful. And I do feel like things may just feel a bit disorganized in your relationships this week. Now, some of you are alienating your partners while having expectations of them that you can't even live up to yourself. So just be easy with each other. And again, it's going to be a variety of things that kind of come up and make relationships a little bit challenging this week. And it could even be a little rough for the healthiest relationships. So just communicate, compromise, or give each other space. Trust your intuition. Sometimes you don't need to confront a situation when you're high emotion, and just take a step back and then come back and have a conversation about it. Those of you that are looking for love, I just feel like not much is happening in the dating world this week. I do feel like some of you will be out and about socializing. Some of you I see just kind of vegging out on the couch, watching movies instead of going out. You're just more in a, again, like kind of like wanting to just chill. A couple of you could have some pity parties for yourselves about being single. So I do see a couple of people that are vegging on the couch and kind of crying and, feeling sorry for yourself, and you're single and you're lonely. And you know what? Just be with that for a minute. Just let yourself, go there, cry, have the pity party, give yourself a couple of days if you need to, but then pull yourself out of it. And remember, you have your whole life ahead of you, and you are not destined to be alone unless you choose to. All right. So just keep that in mind. Then there's those of you who haven't quite realized you're actually not open to dating or letting love into your life. I feel like this week you'll put two and two together. I also feel like a few of you will have someone tell you you're too independent, which I feel like is going to rub you the wrong way and irritate you. And some of you, I feel like, have a snarky comeback or something. Don't take it personal. You probably are too independent, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Finances, careful with finances this week. There's a feeling of not being in the mood or just being distracted, so you could make errors. And some of the errors that I see are like paying the wrong amount on a bill, accidentally overdrafting your account, or something to that effect, where you're either just losing money or gaining money or making a mistake in some way. Just pay attention. Some of you need to get help learning how to manage your money. You spend money on things you don't need and then end up missing car payments, rent, or utilities. Prioritize. Some of you really need to cut back on your spending. For some reason, I felt compelled to say, do you really need the same pair of shoes in 5 different colors? So if that's directed at you, do you? I feel a few of you have some hidden talents and could have a side hustle to make some extra cash or get what you need through bartering and trade. Those of you that have all the shoe colors, maybe sell a couple of pairs. Health, overall, it feels like a low energy week. Some of you will be fighting another round of colds. Others are having stomach issues and feeling fatigued. And many have more severe ailments that might come up. track your symptoms, get outside advice, go see a doctor if you are feeling really sick. I feel like most will be lacking in discipline this week when it comes to your health. So some of you might not feel like going to the gym or find excuses or, whatever it is. You decide, instead of having one slice of cake, I'm just going to eat the whole cake. We'll go for it. It is what it is. Spirituality, I feel like some of you really could use some outside advice or insight into your situations. Be open to receiving some help. Get out there, find some help. I do feel like some of you will be reaching out this week to get some guidance. I feel like some of you will be humbled through your experiences this week, and some of you will realize vulnerability is actually a strength. So that covers this week's predictions. I hope that everyone has a fantastic week. And let me get to tonight's caller, which is Tori in Dubbo, New South Wales, Australia. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Let's see here. How can I help you tonight?
I don't know, just a general overall yearly sort of reading or whatever you feel like is important that comes through.
Sure. So one of the things that I just feel very strongly with you, and I was feeling this earlier when I was preparing my predictions for the week, I feel like there's just a loud message coming through for you about needing to pay attention to the issues around your home, or see the issues around the home, or focus more on your home, or figuring out what home means to you. For some reason, everything just seems to keep going back to your home life in some way. So I'm not sure, if you've got a bunch of different things going on with like work. I felt like maybe you're deciding what your next move is with work. And again, everything seemed to come back to your home life. And even I'm not able to tell if you're actually in a committed relationship or if you're single and dating, but what I do feel surrounding love and what would make everything better, again, is focusing on like the home life, focusing on your family, focusing on your friends, focusing on yourself and what your idea of what your home life would look like. It basically feels like the key to loving yourself and loving your life first will help everything that you're kind of up in the air about right now. I just feel like it will all fall into place. And then the last thing before I'll let you, say whatever you need to say, but I feel like too, there could potentially be this temptation to overspend on maybe things of the home. I don't know. Again, everything just seems like connected to your house or to your home life. Even like I kept getting messages of you working on maybe practicing meditation or creating some sort of ritual at home to help you connect to your own spirituality, and maybe even looking into feng shui, or I don't know. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Is stuff going on at home? Does any of this make sense to you?
Yeah, sort of. So, like, the whole idea about focusing on, my family and myself, and, like, the home life's kind of up and down. Because it is. We've just moved, and we've definitely overspent this week. So, like, because of the move, obviously. But, we're looking at buying the house, and we're not sure about that at the moment. So there's a lot of things coming into play with the home life at the moment, and not everything's quite, all happy and roses at the moment either with my partner.
Right. Yeah. And that to me feels, again, I think it makes sense to me since you've moved. Everything is kind of unorganized. I feel like the move went somewhat smoothly, but then there were issues that popped up. And even with like where you moved to, I feel like there was a problem. As far as buying a house, the area that you moved to, is that it feels like it's kind of brand new, but I feel like it's connected to someone that you know.
Yeah, it's my hometown, so where my family are.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. But I feel like you've been away for a long time, so it feels completely new and different, but I feel like you came back for other reasons than just because you really wanted to go back home.
Yep. So we came back for financial reasons.
Got ya. Okay. So all of that just feels very connected. I feel like right now is not the time for you to invest in a home just yet. I kind of feel that you need to, one, I just feel like you have some family drama going on right now. And I just feel like there's a possibility, even though you have the financial situations, which I feel like is going to change for you, I do feel that getting better through the rest of this year, leading into next year, and then 2020 feels like a really good financial year for you. But this year, I kind of feel like you need to figure out really where your home is going to be, because there's a part of me that feels like you may not stay in the same town. Like I almost feel like you could end up buying a house or moving like maybe a town or two over. So I feel like you shouldn't commit into rushing to buy something right now. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. We have been talking about a town or two over.
Yeah. So I feel like, are you renting from someone you know? I feel like you're renting or staying somewhere that you know the people, or maybe it's family or friends.
We know the person who owns the house, and he's a real estate agent. So.
Got ya. Okay. So I feel like you're going to be good where you are right now temporarily. And I feel like because you know the person, they're really going to, he's going to work with you on where you're not having to commit to like a couple of year lease, or I just feel like it's going to be very much kind of like, okay, if you need to, want to check it out for 6 months or something, that would be okay. I don't feel like there will be any pressure for you to have to move right away.
Yeah.
And I feel like this person will also be the one that will help you find the house that you end up moving into. Now, I do feel like with your partner, it just feels like, I just feel like you guys aren't communicating. You're both irritated and you're both stressed, and you're freaking out about money. I feel like you have children as well. Do you have children, like 2 children?
No, my partner has a son that lives with us, so I don't have any of my own.
Okay, so he has 2 children?
No, he only has 1.
He has 1. Okay, so I'm feeling 2 children.
We're trying.
Okay, so that's okay. So there's going to be 2 children, so I think you're going to be having a baby. I feel like you will be successful, and I do feel like it will be this year. I feel like you both are just stressed because I feel like there's a lot of love there. I just feel like you both can get on each other's nerves, and then you one-up each other with picking at each other. So
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he might say something to you and it hurts you a little bit, and then you say something back at him. Like, I don't feel like there's major issues. I feel like you had some in the past, but you've worked through them and you're both just stressed. I feel like you need to just relax, pamper yourself a little bit, take a step back from the relationship, take a step back from your family too, because I feel like everybody's trying to pull you in multiple directions. Figure out the baby stuff, then figure out the move. I only have 2 minutes left. Do you have any kind of like specific question that you want me to focus on?
Maybe we've been trying for a while for kids together. Do you see anything kind of prominent apart from what you said before?
I feel like you will be pregnant this year. I feel like you need to take a look at what you're eating. I feel like there could be something that you're eating that's connected to causing inflammation in your body. And that's what's making it a little more difficult for you to conceive. And I feel like it affects. A friend of mine comes to mind. She was having issues. She had a slight imbalance in her thyroid, and it was affecting the hair follicles in the fallopian tubes to move the egg down. And for some reason, I'm feeling the same kind of connection for you. So maybe have your doctor look into that.
Yep. I've recently had surgery, actually, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I only have 30 seconds, so I feel like you're going to be pregnant. September comes to mind, so I'm sending you lots of love. I hope that you end up pregnant by September, and if you do, please email me and let me know or contact me. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Thursday. Good night.